Welcome to Across the Pond, a podcast for leaders in market research to help them grow their insight agencies, with Steve Henke and Paul Griffiths.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Across the Pond podcast on how to grow your insights agency. This is episode 6, and I'm Steve Henke with Harpeth Marketing.
Hi, and I'm Paul Griffiths from Client Advocates, and happy Christmas!
Or Merry Christmas, depending on which side of the pond you're on.
Oh gosh, really?
Really? We don't say
Wow.
Happy Christmas over here. That's very British.
Is it? I didn't even know. I thought everybody says Happy Christmas.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Wow.
This is why the
podcast
wrong
is
for hundreds of years. What can I say?
This is why the podcast is called Cross the Pond. Because on your side of the pond, it's merry, and on our side, it's happy.
There you go.
We're living the brand, Steve. We're living the brand.
There you go. Live and learn, my friend.
So, ding dong, merrily and high and all that. We are talking today about what do we want from Santa Claus for Christmas when it comes to sales and marketing and growth in market research and insight agencies. This is not an excuse for Steve and I to have a bit of a mess around this near to Christmas and hopefully give our watchers, listeners, readers, audio people, audience a bit of fun. There is going to be some kind of sense into it, but I'm not sure how much. Steve and I have just been talking before this, and we've established Steve doesn't know what a mince pie is. So honestly, his whole credibility around Christmas is very limited at this stage.
That's fair.
So Steve, what do you want from Santa Claus for Christmas?
All right. I came to the table with 3 ideas, Paul, in no particular order, but I'll share them in order of my intensity of delivering the message. How's that?
Okay.
I'll start softly and then we'll grow.
Okay. Are you going to do this? Are you going to do this in the style of A Christmas Carol?
Oh, good Lord. Nobody wants to hear me sing, Paul. Come on. I don't think they like necessarily listening to me talk. I know they don't want to hear me sing. So, no, I'm just going to listen. When it's your turn and you want to sing, by all means, I'm sure. And by the way, nobody can see this, but Paul is wearing one of the loveliest Christmas sweaters I have seen in a long time with reindeer, snowflakes, presents. It's beautiful. Anyway.
You know what? Actually, for some people on Spotify, you can watch this as a video. So for a very small proportion of our audience, probably just me, they will be able to see me in my jumper in all its glory.
All right, let's talk sales and marketing. So what would I like to see for Christmas? And I kind of just, the way I thought about this, Paul, was, in a perfect world, how would we walk and talk and, work around marketing and sales? So one of the things that and we've sort of kind of leaned into this on some previous episodes, I would like to see sales and marketing prioritized at a much higher level inside of agencies. I think the most successful agencies that you and I work with and that we know in the industry, it's a priority for them. It's important to them. They are frequent and consistent about the way they go to market with their messaging. Too many firms, smaller ones in particular, small to mid-sized ones, sales and marketing, particularly marketing, is, I'll get to it when I have time, which is what accounts for so much of the feast or famine that so many agencies have to deal with, right? They either aren't willing to invest, haven't prioritized it, however you want to rationalize it. It's not a thing for them. And so they get this feast or famine. But I think if it becomes part and parcel of your everyday business activities, that growth curve smooths out a whole lot better and becomes a much more successful organization.
Very good. I think Santa's elves will be able to deliver that.
Yes. Wrap it up in a bow.
Absolutely. Right. So my top of my present list is actually a top of funnel. I want market research agencies to have a top of a funnel for Christmas. I think it would be lovely if they came back in January and suddenly they all found there was 30 or 40 conversations at the top of their CRM funnel that they didn't know were there, that Father Christmas had delivered them. Broadly speaking, potential conversations with semi-qualified leads that they can kind of get hold of over the next couple of months between January and March and establish and start to build relationships so that they can start to turn those, maybe by summertime, into something that actually looks like a piece of business. So that's what I would like for my top of my list, is the top of a funnel for agencies.
So let me ask you a question, Paul. Let's say that in the off chance that Santa Claus does not deliver that, what would your recommendations be for putting some new names into the top of the funnel?
Wow. Now you're going to make me think, and it's Christmas time. So what I would do is I would say, I think they need to go out and actively work on how they need to do that. So that probably involves, as we've discussed in previous episodes, having a marketing plan to work out how to kind of generate some interest and to start to build awareness of their agency. It probably requires them to then go and say, well, look, who do we want to kind of target? Have we got an ideal target audience for a particular service or a particular proposition that we have in the agency that we think is compelling or interesting or has got real commercial relevance? And then I would say you probably need to go out and do things like connect with those individuals on LinkedIn and start sharing content with them, or identify an event that some people are going to be at and make sure you're at the event, or organize a podcast, God help you, and start sending it out and marketing the fact you've got a podcast so that people go, oh yeah, no, I've heard of you. I've seen your ridiculous podcast. So that's the sort of things I would do to start to fill the top of that funnel. But I'm very comfortable and confident that Santa Claus, I'm very confident Santa Claus is going to bring this to every single one of the agencies and the owners that are listening to this pod.
But that's the only way. They have to listen to the podcast, right? I like that. I agree. I think top of funnel is critical. Too many firms just focused on the bottom, and you should be, certainly when it gets to that stage. It's the top and middle of the funnel that need a little more focus. So well done there, Mr. Elf.
Thank you. What's your second one?
My second comes directly from our Seller Doer Workshop. Subtle plug. It's really starting January 10th, 2025.
That is your Christmas gift from me. You're allowed to do that once only.
It really is in the way that salespeople, however you want to define yourself, salespeople, seller, doer, SDR, whatever, communicate. And that is to stop selling and start helping.
Okay.
To focus your buying and selling conversations on the buyer's problems, not on your services and products. Yeah. They don't care. What they care about is how do they solve the problems that they have and how can you help them solve them? You know, the line is your research buyers don't have research problems. They have business problems that they need research to help solve. So talk to them about their business problems. Help them solve a problem. Sometimes you might not be the best solution to that problem, and that's okay. But boy, talk about a way to build credibility. Yeah. So build your conversations, your interactions around solving their problems. And it gets to what Paul was talking about, right? If you're going to share a piece of content, don't send them one of your sales collateral pieces. Send them an article about a business problem that they have that was resolved at another company, or a case study that addresses those things. Focus on the client. Yeah. That would be something else Santa Claus could deliver to me.
And look, you know what? I think that is particularly apposite at this time of year because it's all about giving. So don't be the person expecting the present or the sale. Be the person giving the value, giving the opportunity to kind of think about how you can help them. And that is going to, we all know at this time of year, Christmas, giving is better than receiving. So I think that's got a particularly Christmassy, heart to it as well, Steve. So thank you for that. Thank you,
Paul.
My second wish list from Santa Claus, or indeed as we call him in the UK, Father Christmas.
Okay. Old Saint Nick. Okay.
Saint Nick. Yep. All the same man. Multiple branding. We should do an episode on Father Christmas and the dichotomy of his branding. No, let's not. The second thing I want to talk about, or I'm hoping I'd get for Christmas, is market research agencies changing their approach to risk And I want them to start up understanding and having an appreciation of upside risk. Because if you have an appreciation of upside risk, an opportunity, you are more open to investment and investing. And actually, what we are talking about here a lot of the time when we talk about growth is an investment, either an investment of time or of resources, of a priority within these insight agencies to actually say, you know what, we are going to do this stuff. And that requires an investment. And the downside, of course, of that is that they will say, oh, well, we haven't got the time and we can't afford it and it's very expensive. And how much do you charge, Paul? All of which are reasonable and valuable, valid kind of, objections and questions. But actually, if you were to switch that and go, well, look, if we are to do this, what's the upside? So don't focus on the downside, focus on the upside and the opportunities of sales and marketing and growing your agency and what you can do to achieve that. Actually, that change of kind of demeanor and tone will unlock so much opportunity for agencies and for leaders of agencies. So yeah, my second request from Santa, Father Christmas, is that we have an appreciation and a love and a welcoming of upside risk.
That sounds closely related to optimism, Paul, which is a very Christmassy theme. So I'd be all over that. I think that's a great idea. I'm trying, but so this time of year, so that's a great point. So, okay, what's the upside? What's the opportunity? I think that should be one of the driving forces behind taking a day and sitting down and thinking about something called a sales and marketing plan. And what are our opportunities to grow the organization? What other products can we deliver to the marketplace? What other target markets can we go after besides the one that we have? Yes, there's an investment of time and effort, et cetera. But boy, look at the opportunity. But if we don't talk about it and put a plan around it to go do it, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. No, I think that's. I
like that one a lot.
Right. I think that's right. Right. What's your present request, Steve?
All right. This one has been. I keep asking Santa for this. I've been asking for years. He hasn't delivered yet. So maybe this is the year.
Or have you just not been good enough? Have you just not been a good enough boy, Steve?
Okay, let's not go down that rabbit hole. I would like buyers to stop ghosting sellers.
Oh, that's a good one.
It happens all the time. Now, I'm not talking about somebody cold calling you or sending you crappy emails. Fine. Ignore them. You have every right to ignore them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about those conversations. I'm talking about when you've had multiple conversations, maybe ask for a capabilities presentation, maybe ask for a proposal, and then you go dark.
Yeah.
That is as unprofessional and childish as anything I can think of. So I have some examples of words for buyers to use in these situations. Okay. So you don't have to think so much. I'm going to give them to you.
Go for it.
Okay. Just for examples, it'll take you 10 seconds to write these emails. That's it. Number one, I'm tied up with a big project. Call me in 2 weeks. Fine. People get busy with projects. I get it. Don't ignore me. Number two, and particularly this time of year, hey, we're postponing all big purchasing decisions until after the first of the year. Fine. I'll call you after the first. Thank you for your honesty. We've accepted a proposal from one of your competitors. Okay, fine. At least I know and I can stop bugging you.
It happens.
It happens. Steve, I hate you. Leave me alone. Also fine. I don't care. You know what? I know salespeople are uncomfortable with me saying this. I'm okay with a no. I really am. Tell me no. I'm going to move on. I'm going to stop wasting my time. I'm going to stop wasting your time. But don't just go dark on me and say nothing.
Yeah.
I think that is as unprofessional in the world of buying and selling as anything we do. So Santa Claus, maybe this is the year. Come on, buddy.
Fingers crossed. Well, you've given some nice examples there. Again, it's the season of giving. You've given some help and advice there, Steve. I salute you for that. So I think that's really nice. I've got my final one. My final one is well, actually, it came a little bit from our last episode where we were talking about sales and marketing structures and what you need and things. So what I'm hoping for from Santa Claus this year is no more expensive business development people who claim to have lots of networks and lots of black books, rock up in an organization, and then 6 months later leave because they've not made any sales because they don't really have a good network anymore, and go to the next agency. So I know it's a bit negative, but I hope that next year Santa Claus doesn't send us any of those.
That happens a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
mean, there are and I'm with you. I see it all the time, and it never works out.
No. So that's it. So that's my third. That's my third. Which I don't think is that unreasonable.
I don't either. That's a good one. I have one bonus request for Santa Claus. Okay,
you're pushing your luck here.
It's more of a personal thing, Paul.
Oh, okay.
I would, as much as anything that could happen this Christmas, I would love for you and Tessa to come visit Lisa and I in Nashville. I've been asking for months. I would love for you guys to come see it. So think about it. Talk to your lovely wife. Find some time next spring. Come to Nashville. We'll have a good time. So, Steve, you know what? I think that's a lovely idea. I'll give you my address. You can send me the check in the post to pay for the flights. And I will gladly take that as my Christmas present from you. I guess it's a two-way street, isn't it? No, you got to give a little to get a little. Okay, fine. I understand. That's a lovely offer, and I'm only slightly narked that you've shamed me into doing this in public, so that now whenever I speak to anybody who's listened to this pod, they're going, "So, are you going to see Steve?" And I'm like, "Well, possibly." No, listen, you're very sweet, and of course, I reciprocate the goodwill and the gesture. So, if you ever want to. You and Lisa are over here in the new year or next year, fancy escaping from the madness that is the USA, then you are always very welcome. See you tomorrow. Very welcome here in sunny Surrey. We would put you up. We'd show you a good time. I might even save a mince pie for you, so you can actually experience the mince pies. Sounds like that's worth the trip alone. Looking forward to it, Paul. Exactly. Thank you. So look, it's all I think it leaves us to now do is to wish our listener a very, very happy Christmas. Whoever listens to this and has the misfortune to spoil their run into Christmas with listening to this, we wish you all success and joy. Yep. May your time at Christmas, whether it be family or friends or whatever, it brings you the joy and the happiness and the rest and recuperation that you require and desire. And we will see you in 2025 on the other side. Well said, Paul. Let me just reiterate: Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. May you have a peaceful and joyous time with friends and family these holidays, and we'll see you next year. Excellent. Steve, have a really, really good one. Thank you, Paul. Enjoyed it, my friend. Cheers. Take care. Take care, dude.
Thanks for watching and listening to Across the Pond. Get in touch with Paul at clientadvocates.co.uk and Steve at harpethmarketing.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.